Hey everybody, it's Amanda Roper here, and I just wanted to make a quick little video of my screen to share with you the way that we are kind of deciding to go forward with organization as we move forward and build more in Blackboard. At the beginning of this, we weren't quite sure which organization structure we needed, and so we kind of did a mixture of making modules versus making folders. And as we got further into the build, we realized that it was a lot more user-friendly to build in modules. So if you, like us, myself and my teaching partner Jane, if you didn't build in modules from the beginning, that's a-okay. We can always go back and update those, but going forward, it's probably best if you put them into modules, and I'll give you a quick rundown on why that would be. If you can see my screen here, this is our science content, and so far we've built some of the work in Unit 7, and we've got a timeline here talking about rivers, lakes, streams, ponds, marshes, and that's just a brief overview of the timeline for the fall. But then we have a pre-Unit 7 section that we started out and we put it into a folder. Now as you can see, if I click on the folder, it cascades open much like a module does, and you can see all the content that's hidden inside. You can kind of scroll down and see there's some stuff you want to teach before you jump into the Earth's features, but the way you see this is very messy. It's kind of tricky for your eyes to decide, is this part of this unit? Is Unit 7 Introduction the same as this timeline? Oh, now it's gray boxes. What does that mean? Now are these, I can see that they're offset a little bit, but are they all part of the same unit? So I'm going to kind of collapse all these a second, and you can see they collect nicely, which is good. But when you look at this nice gray box down here, it's very organized, and when you click on it, it not only opens up and everything is in a box all contained around the outer edge, so you can see this is all one giant module. You also can see here's the title, here's the description, which is kind of nice to give you the little description, and then you can have folders just like you did before, but you can then have folders to differentiate groups of activities. So like 7.1, there's some activities, if I click on it, that you are going to ask your students to do, and it's quite a few things that are listed in order of how you'd expect kids or teachers to navigate that. And then that can all collapse if I click on that again. And you can see 7.2 also has a folder, so you can see it collapses down or opens up and expands. And you can see all the activities kind of nestled away inside of there, which makes it nice and organized, easy to see, easy to tell. So for that piece only, the option of keeping them as modules is really nice, because then you have a nice gray box around the whole module and you can see where it is. So the other option is a little less organized and structured. Another reason that modules are helpful is that you can then, in a module, see if students have completed the module if you assign that to them, and it will give them a check mark. At least that's what I'm being told. I've tried to check it on the student side of things, and I don't think we've released it out yet for us to see the demo of that, but if you do it that way, I know you can assign it and you can have students receive a check mark and you can see if they've completed the activity or not. So I'm not 100% certain if that's not the case for just a plain old folder, but for the sake of going forward in building, I would suggest putting it into the module format so that it's a lot easier to see what that looks like. If you haven't done that yet, or you're not sure how to move activities that are normally in a folder into a module, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to make Unit 7 Introduction an actual module. So up above it, I'm going to click the plus sign. I'm going to click Create. Then I'm going to choose Learning Module. Then once that opens up, I can click here and I can change the title. I'm just going to call it Unit 7 Introduction, just like it says below. You can put a description, which is beautiful because I really just need to say what it says below. Before beginning Unit 7, start here. Save it. Perfect. Now don't delete your folder just yet because all of your stuff is still in it. So I'm going to expand this out. And now all I need to do, it's super simple, is simply drag my activities in from this folder all the way up into here, this other folder. So I'm going to grab one. Sometimes it can be a little finicky. It likes to jump around sometimes. I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to hold down my click and whoop, see, it likes to get jumpy. And then once the boxes are nestled together, you can put it right into the box where it belongs. Now sometimes if it's being finicky like this one, you might find, I'll show you a little trick here to get it to let go where you want it to be. Now you see how that didn't go right into my module that's nice and grayed out. I'm going to grab it one more time, but before I do, I have found that working in full screen mode for whatever reason takes the glitches out, so feel free to work in that mode. Now I need to get my intro to Earth's water features. It's part of Unit 7 introduction, so I'm just going to drag it up here until it highlights the box and let it go. Oh, it didn't go. Hence the finicky nature of building. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to get the next one, Glaciers and Icebergs video. I'm going to click it, drag it up until it goes into the introduction module where I want it. And if you open it and expand it out, you can see if they're in the right order. You can notice they're not. So even within this module, I'm going to need to rearrange them into the right order. So I'm going to have them switch places here. Oh, not way down there. That is part of the fun, everybody, seeing if it goes in the right order or not. So there it is. It's where I want it. And you notice it disappears from the Unit 7 folder I was seeing it in before. So grab it right away, kind of slowly tiptoe my way into this module. Once the box grows, there we go. Now it's in the place I want it to be. So I'm going to move what is due. That's a little lesson there in itself. I want to move up there. And the last one, what is fog? I'm going to move this one up into my intro unit. Now you can see I have an empty folder. There's nothing in it. It asks me to put content in there. And since I've already replicated this as a module, I don't need it. I'm going to click on the button, the three little dots. I'm going to click on delete. If I want to delete it, be sure you do. This is permanent. And now you can see there's a nice box around all of my activities I would like in the Unit 7 intro. If I click on it, it will collapse it back down. And now you can see it's a lot more organized. It just looks very consistent and more pleasing to the eye. And again, just makes things look more organized for people who are getting in here and trying to figure out what are we looking at and how do we assign it to kids. So there's that quick little fun for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm not the only person who can help you. There's lots of people who are great at this, but I'm the one who decided to make the video to help you guys out. So if you need help, let me know or someone else on our team. And happy building!